Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of 123 Wrestling here on SRB TV. I'm, of course, Kristen, joined always by Mo Brothers
and
Mr. Nick Slade. Yeah. By the way, we also like to wish Mr. Mo Brothers a happy full year on this channel. It's been one full year for him.
How has he tolerated you so long, Kristen?
Yeah. He joined us WrestleMania 36 last year. And from onwards, and now he's been here a full year. So welcome for being here for a full year. Unfortunately, nothing's changed in terms of WWE.
Honestly, no, the only things have changed is for the worse.
Yeah. So no reactions for this episode, folks. We are taking a look at what we consider some of the very best stuff coming to us from 2021 in the world of professional wrestling. So if you guys were here last year, we mainly just focused on the best wrestling matches, as well as some honorable mentions in regards to that. This year, I decided to mix things up a bit. We're still doing the best matches. We're still doing the honorable mentions, but we're also going to take a look at some key moments throughout the year. I have a list here, and we'll chime in throughout. So we're going to look over best moments, some key promo, some really good promos we got this year. Spoiler alert, they're all from AEW. For the ones I found, they're all from AEW.
Now everyone's gonna turn off the video. Jeez.
Yeah, best pay-per-view.
Spoiler.
Best pay-per-views. As well as who we thought was the I thought we did this, but we didn't. As well who we personally thought were the best professional wrestler of this year. Mine's extremely obvious, but we're going to get this started, okay? So I started last year, so it's only fair if somebody else starts this year. So this is how it works, folks. If you didn't see our last year, each of us have chosen roughly 5 to 6 of our favorite matches of the year. In no order at all. These are just 5 to 6 matches we thought were really good. And then we boiled them down to, each of us boiled down to 3. We have 2 as backup, just in case one of us crisscrosses like we did last year. So we're luckily safe on that. And as a quick recap for those who didn't see our video last year, I decided to look back and see what we chose last year, each of us. So let's see, I'll choose the main regular 3 each of us chose. So in Mo's case, he chose Eric Young versus Rich Swann from Bound for Glory 2020. Bailey versus Banks from Hell in a Cell 2020, and Kingston versus Moxley from Full Year 2020. Nick chose the Bucks and Hangman versus the Bucks versus Hangman Omega match from Revolution 2020. I chose as well Boneyard match from WrestleMania 36, as well as Okada Naito from Wrestle Kingdom 14. I do not remember which night. So let's see. The only time
it was night 2.
Yeah, the only time we crisscrossed was me and Nick on the Revolution 2020 match. Myself, I chose the Intercontinental title match, ladder triple threat at Clash Champions 2020. For those who don't remember, Matt Hardy and his ear handcuffed. Yeah, clever. Brian Styles from the June 20th, 2020 episode of SmackDown. It was the Intercontinental Championship Tournament Finals. And of course, because I had to choose another pick, I chose Dragunov Walter from NXT UK, October 29th, 2020. And our honorable mentions, most of these were pretty much Mo and Nick, but honorable mentions went to Ospreay Takahashi for Wrestle Kingdom 14 for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Okada Ibushi, Wrestle Kingdom 14. And Stadium Stampede, the first one from Double or Nothing 2020. I can't believe that was actually last year. It feels like forever ago. And of course, the Firefly Funhouse match from WrestleMania 36. Okay. So with all that being said, I will let one of you two decide. I went first last year, so we're gonna revolve it around. So one of you guys can go first this year.
All right. Mo, since you've had the best picture out of the 3 of us, you can go first.
New Year's, baby. New Year's, baby. So I will start off with Walter versus Dragunov.
Motherfucker!
Takeover 36.
That was one of mine too. So
Oh wow, that's the first time all three of them. No, okay, but for the fair,
it was a good match. Yeah.
for the fairness of this, we're just gonna label this as most first pick, not like last year. We're just gonna label this most first pick. This is why we have a system, folks. This is why we have a system like this in case.
I mean, I'm glad I put mine out first.
Yeah. Go on.
I mean, first of all, there's a little bit of bias just because got to see it live. But beyond that, just seeing them actually perform was great because I only hear secondhand from mostly you, Kristen, about how crazy they are, and then watching them actually be stateside doing NXT and then leading up to Takeover was incredible. Like, people were going nuts. Like, I don't know how much of the crowd reaction they got, but it was just like all of that was genuine. It wasn't like, I don't think that they needed to pump in any crowd noise for it, especially when everyone was just like silent as hell for Walter when he's doing those insanely brutal slaps.
Oh yeah.
But I loved it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic match. Walter's reign finally came to an end after 870 days.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. I have like, you know what's sad about me not going first and choosing this one? I have like 4 paragraphs on this fucking match alone.
I mean,
we'll read them. What we're talking about.
Okay, no, this is Mo's pick. I'm gonna chime in a little here and there, but this is Mo's main pick.
But go ahead and
I will chime in.
Stuff.
So sadly, if for those who watched last year, this was my like backup pick because like me and Nick chose the Revolution match. I couldn't do that this year. I just couldn't. Like, this match was really fucking good. And what's sad is I'm so fucking behind on NXT UK, and it's actually been really good. Like, fuck, Mustache Mountain finally won their goddamn tag titles in the UK. I mean, Jesus Christ. But I've been behind. But you know what's great about this? All I'll say is this. You know what's great about this match is it connects to the last match because Walter Dragunov won, Dragunov lost. You know what happened? Well, not a lot of people remember what happened. Dragunov lost his fucking shit after that. He started just mowing down anybody who get his way on NXT UK, like anything and everything. Like, his thing was a story of going from the bottom back up, like a Rocky movie, like one of the many Rocky movies, and just going back down and just throughout the entire year, just climbing as they go, as Walter was still literally and metaphorically chopping his way through whatever the NXT UK roster had to offer. Like, seriously, hell, even destroyed Ciampa and Stand and Deliver, which was another really good Walter match that did not make my honorable mentions because I just at that point I was like, do Walter Dragunov too, but this match, yeah, it was such great build. So now when he came back, he was ready this time. He was like more focused, more honed. He realized when he made mistakes last year and implemented everything he could into this year. And of course, yeah, the chopping was ridiculous. They looked like mosaic purple like grape paintings on their chest by the end of it. God damn,
Yeah, it's interesting that this match they ended up happening because it feels like the original plan was when they were going to do NXT UK, was it Dublin? It seemed like the plan was that Balor was going to be the one to take the belt from Walter. But since that never ended up happening because the show got postponed 3 times where it was canceled, they decided to go with Dragunov.
Yeah, I was reading back my notes from last year's video, and I even put, well, what's kind of sucks is, of course, they're building up to Balor Walter at Dublin, take over Dublin.
That's one of the reasons Walter held so long because they kept postponing that show.
But anybody else got anything to say about it? I can go on for a bit longer.
Worked out in a way for better for some compared to the others.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was doing everything. No, Dragon was doing everything in the book to take him down. Even his finisher, like even his finishing move didn't work. Like, it came down, like what makes great about every other Walter match we've seen is it came down to an out of nowhere move, which was a sleeper hold. he made Walter tap to a fucking sleeper hold. You know, it's like after everything he went through, everything Walter did to previous competitors he did, you know, where it was a splash from the top rope, which got him his title initially, whether it was it the lariats that destroyed Tyler Bate in that amazing match from was it 2020 or 2019 was that match? I don't remember. Like just everything, the consecutive power bomb that destroyed Trent Seven on episode NXT UK, you know, like, or Kevin, you guys like feigned Kevin Owens from years ago when he took on Sami Zayn, like just he was great and he pulled up everything, and Dragunov was just not letting him have any of it. Just like he was still getting up, he looked battered, bruised, just, and he won with a fucking sleeper hold. Like it made sense, it worked because he kept on targeting. Dragunov kept on targeting the neck a lot of times throughout the match as well, you know, and just the chops. The crowd, why I said last year rung true here. It was the crowd. The crowd really escalated this match.
And that was one thing their original encounter lacked, was that there wasn't a crowd.
No.
And so the crowd made you could try to go back and forth which match was better, the first or second one, but having the crowd there to me made the second match feel a little more special, and the fact that Dragunov won.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah. The only downside I have, I want you guys on this. The only downside I have with this is the buildup on the NXT US brand sucked.
Yeah.
The buildup for it kind of sucked. They tried to give Dragunov some good promo time, and he was decent, but it was not there. You know, Walter was just, they let be Walter without really talking much. And then on top of all this, they fucking had him lose to fucking Pete Dunne like it was a week and a half before the takeover. Like they had Dragunov lose to Dunne, which just did not sit right with me. That was my only criticism. This match was fucking amazing. I would say go fucking see it. And make sure to have your oohs and ahs ready, because you're going to say it out loud while holding your chest.
Yeah, and so Kristen, I think you're the only one of three of us who watches NXT UK regularly.
I promise I'll catch up. I promise.
But how has Dragunov been as champion of what you've seen so far?
I haven't seen any of it. That's the problem. I can't deliver any.
You're that far behind?
Yeah, dude, I am so behind. It's not even funny. Like Pretty Deadly were NXT UK champions during my tag team champions while I wasn't watching. How the fuck did Pretty Deadly get built up? They were like Job Squad last time I was watching. Like, yeah, I missed a lot, dude.
Well,
seriously,
Mustache Mountain finally got the belts.
Yes, they did. They beat Pretty Deadly to win them, which is great.
Yeah.
And there's a crowd again at NXT UK for the most part. It's kind of like when you notice, it's like when like NXT started doing crowds again, like people in. It's kind of like limited. It's like just people around the gate.
Is it like Black and Gold NXT or NXT 2.0 when it comes to how they treat the crowd?
Luckily enough, NXT UK has not been touched by the Rainbow brand. It's still but
I'm saying like in terms of the crowd setup.
It's like standing room only. Like there's nowhere to sit.
Are they behind glass and stuff?
No. Well, I don't know. I've only seen a couple of images. So post crowding.
Sounds like it's a little bit closer to Black and Gold NXT.
Yeah, it's definitely like you watch that and you'll probably feel at home. I won't be surprised if their ratings jump up a bit, because like people are tired of the Rainbow brand. Ugh, I hate talking about the Rainbow brand. Well, Mo, did you have anything else to say about this match? I think I've said
for the people in no. I was gonna try and be like, if
you did it for the Rock
area, if you did it for the people area has a chance to check out something like that live, it would be great. But it's like that's not gonna happen anymore.
Yes, my chest still hurts to this day because of that match. Jesus Christ. Nick, you're up next.
All right.
What's your first pick? I'm rolling that dice. I am rolling that dice right now.
I'm gonna name all your favorites.
Let's see. To me, I know this is probably both of y'all's pick, but it is ultimately my match of the entire year. It's going to be the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers, Steel Cage, and All Out for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
No.
You know what? I'm ashamed. Let me add that to my honorable mentions right now. I didn't even
Your
have
honorable.
That's not even your top 3.
Dude, seriously, there was a lot of good fucking matches this year, and
I know, but
and you know why I didn't. You know, Nick, you know why I didn't choose it? Because I knew you were gonna choose it. Because we had the same thoughts when it comes to Young Bucks tag team matches every year. Now it's like Young Bucks usually put on the best tag team match of the year. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother playing on it because I know Nick's gonna put it on. I know Nick at the very least.
Well, they're good. They're not usually my favorite tag team, but they have good matches. And it helped that the Lucha Brothers are also very good. It was in a steel cage. It was very. We all watched it together. It was very good. Young Bucks held the belts for a while, and they kept winning and winning to the point it was getting to be in like NWO, WCW levels of Jesus Christ. Had them lose at least once in a while, and then they finally got their comeuppance against the Lucha Brothers, and the Lucha Brothers are still the tag champions as this recording.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, I don't think what else I can say. I mean, at the Young Bucks, you got Pentagon. You have Ray Phoenix. I think right now Ray Phoenix is the best high flyer in the world right now. I think that's an arguable point to make.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely the best tag team match of the year. I think, if not match of the year.
Unequivocally, it was easily the best tag team match of the year. I mean, swear to God, like you can name at least 5 spots from that match that were really fucking well done. The thumbtack spot, the top rope, the top other cage jump from Phoenix, the insane maneuvers they were doing inside the cage. Just, I mean, I was watching online other people's videos about their favorite wrestling matches here. I remember they brought up how like it seems that at least once a year the Lucha Bros and Young Bucks get to the air and do some kind of gimmick match that blows everybody out of water.
It's not even a gimmick match. I mean, it's a gimmick match, but it's not like they just took a steel cage we've seen plenty of times before, and they're just like, what crazy shit can we do, and elevate it. It's less of like a Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
Yeah. No, it's
Rest in
not.
peace.
It's not. No, honestly, you're right. It's not. But like there was that crazy ladder match, the first crazy ladder match they had on AEW against the Lucha Bros, which is amazing. The same rings true here. The thumbtack spot with the shoe. Brandon Cutler's amazing arm that chucked that son of a bitch bag over the cage, which was amazing. Got in the first try. I mean, just all the moves, just everything about it was just spectacular. Like this is what I need to do. I'm gonna do this probably later, but I'm gonna definitely just in case we run into a wall talking about stuff matches like this. I'm gonna probably send you guys links to like highlight videos just in case, like because there was a lot of great stuff from that match overall. It's hard to say every single spot. Like ultimately, yeah, it was great. Lucha Bros were the right people to win. They won. You know, we got that awkward hug between Penta and his daughter, where he was covered in blood and like, yeah, wrestling. But no, it was a fucking great match. Just two of the best tag teams in the entire world went at it in a really cool looking steel cage and like just went to town on it. Phrasing.
That was the only tag match out of the list of matches I have, which I just have to go through it again. I have at least 11. That's the only tag match.
I have at least one other tag match on my honorary mention. No, 2 actually on my honorary mentions list.
All right. And so yeah, that was great. The only thing I didn't like about there was a weird build up because leading up to All Out, the Young Bucks were mainly feuding with Jurassic Express. Like that was I thought that was gonna be the feud to lead up to All Out. Then all of a sudden, like a week or two before, Lucha Bros won out of nowhere, won the number 1 contender tournament, and they were inserted. Like it helped that the two teams had history, so you didn't have to do too much build up. Mm-hmm. But it felt a little rushed. Like Lucha Bros were kind of inserted in there, but it ultimately worked out. It was a great match. Lucha Bros have been deserving a tag team run for a while. Like hopefully, Jurassic Express get one soon. But that was my only thing about that. It just felt kind of last minute, but still, it was a great match.
Honestly, yeah. Like, yeah, if we had I talk about a little bit of downsides here and there. Like for this, and I'll bring this up in my first pick, but like build up matters in some matches. Like this won't work because it was two amazing tag teams going at it in a steel cage. The build up it could have been minor regardless, and it still would have been a great fucking match. But I feel like I agree with you, Nick. There should have been a bit better build up to this match between the two teams because this was the Young Bucks finally losing the tag titles after having them for so long.
All right, so 2 down. What is your first pick, Kristen?
My first pick is a women's match.
What?
I added a women's match this year.
What?
Oh, he's not sexist.
I'm gonna have some fun with this one. I had between two matches. It came down, and both were amazing, spectacular. I recommend going back and watching them. I
have both of them.
It came down. I think we have the same ones. It came down to one thing and one thing alone, which buildup was better, and just by a little bit, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Thunder Rosa in an unsanctioned lights out match at AEW Dynamite St. Patrick's Day Slam was my pick for, honestly, my favorite women's match of 2021.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was that or the Belair Banks match, but then I thought about Belair Banks. I'm like, I hated the fucking build up to Belair Banks. Honest to fucking God, because all WWE kept doing was, were they friends? Were they heels? Was one of the face, one of the heels? Was a heel of the face? Oh, they're tag team. Oh, they're not tag team. Oh, they hate her. Oh, they kind of like each other. It's like, the fuck? It wasn't even until like the second last week that was like, okay, yeah, they're heel face. I'm like, it was a great match. It was a great main event moment, but like, fuck. At least with, I'm going to get to my notes I have here. At least with Baker Rosa, it was great. For one thing, 2020 was when Britt Baker really showed her stuff. I know I'm talking 2020. I'll get to 2021. Is when she really showed her stuff.
We're still talking about last year.
It was great stuff. It was that spot where she got Crimson Mask, and that was it a tournament match, I think, during Dynamite's shutdown period where they're doing it in like the Nightmare Family Factory or something like that. No, okay, sorry. That happened. Then it was just some great build-up. The role model stuff when she got injured from that botch by Nyla. Amazing stuff. Her rivalry with Big Swole, which led to that amazing fucking match with with them at that year's All Out. That Dennis match that got bumped.
Her friendship with Tony.
Her friendship with Tony, yes.
With Rebel, not Reba.
Rebel, not Reba. The Dennis match, which got bumped from the pre-show to the main show match because people were pissed that why is this on the pre-show? This has actually had some good build-up to it, And then 2021 came. Then there was this match that happened. Then we got Thunder Rosa on the other side of things. She came in. She wasn't even part of the main. She wasn't even part of the AEW roster. She was still currently the NWA Women's World Champion. Like she was coming in to take on Sheeta in that well done All Out. Was it 2020 All Out? They had that title. No, not title for it. It was champion versus champion match. And that was really well done. And they kept using her. And they had no sign of like coming back just yet. And they kept using her, and she got more and more well known. Then she was the next up for Baker's rivalry against Baker, and then that was greatly well done. There was the beach break match, which ended in controversy, and
and this all happened this year, or are you still talking about last year?
No, we're getting to that. This is where we're in 2021, where this match really defined both these ladies. Britt Baker, it made her the head. Reigns, pun intended, they made her the head of the table of the AEW women's division. This match made her the head. And Thunder Rosa, fuck. It's funny. She wasn't even signed till like 4 months later to AEW is when she was officially signed.
Which is still crazy to think about.
4 months later, and they put on one of my favorite women's matches this year. I mean, what can you say? The spots were fucking ludicrous. Ladders, freaking chair spots. the thumbtack spot. Good lord, the thumbtack spot. Britt getting the most infamous Crimson Mask of the year. Just like
felt more like a death match than the actual barbed wire death match.
Ugh. Yeah, we don't talk about
that. Will not be on this list.
Are you sure? Because I mean, I didn't want to spoil things, but it was going to be my next one. But...
Oh, fuck you. So, anyways,
that Sparkle match.
Honestly, I even put in my notes. Was easily the most brutal women's match I have seen in my entire time watching pro wrestling. Like, I know I've seen Hell in a Cell matches with the women. I know I've seen like other classic vintage matches and stuff like that. But honestly, this match was like, it felt like the women got their due here when it comes to, hey, we can do like fucking hardcore matches too. And they did it on cable television. Like it was cable, but they technically on national television too. Fuck, WWE can't even fucking say that. They did a women's hardcore match on like live TV. Like, ooh, she got a little nick there. Ooh, she called her a bitch. Oh, no, this was literally, I'm going to eviscerate you kind of match. And they 110% in all of this. Like, fuck the ending spot where she fucking, what was it? I think it was pile drives Baker through the table or something like that, off the mat in through the table. Holy shit. Like, fucking hell. I mean, by the end of this match, Baker lost, but everyone wouldn't stop. Nobody would stop talking about Baker. Rosa won the match, and it projected her to more of a national attention. It gave her more attention on national TV. People really loved Thunder Rosa. Even right now, she's one of their best like baby faces right now in the AEW women's division.
And I think she's going to be the one to take the belt from Baker when she does eventually lose it.
Yeah, and I'll agree. I'll say this last since I have my notes. While Belair Banks got more attention this year, like it was supposed to, it was Baker Rosa that deserved just as much attention overall. You know, it was a great match. I've talked endlessly about this match already. You guys have anything else to say?
So what I want to say is I was surprised that you put that down. Not because I didn't think that it wasn't good or anything like that, but Bianca versus Belair was one that I was thinking that you would go with. I understand the whole build and stuff, but besides that point, completely agree with what you were saying about Rosa versus Baker, and that's I think in the women's division for AEW, they have moments more where they get to shine and show off their work, and it seems like they're more of the veteran women wrestlers that show off their skills. Like that's why I enjoyed the international kind of tournament that they had, where it was like some of it took place in Japan, some of it took place here, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that match was ridiculous and insane, but it was unsanctioned. So does it really count as your pick for a match?
Yeah,
it's on the official records.
It may not reflect the record, but it was an official match.
Yeah, that's I didn't bring that up, but that's what's cool part is Rosa got the win. Baker lost, but she easily, and she did this and it was great. She went, well, technically didn't count to my win-loss record, so it didn't fucking count.
And she rode that momentum to win the title.
Exactly. And then they had that good was it a match at Double or Nothing with Sheeta, you know, and her finally winning. And you can tell with the crowd, like when Hangman first showed up at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, they fucking love Britt Baker. Like, love Britt Baker. She is over right now. She's the most over heel right now, I think, in most of professional wrestling right now.
Well,
I don't know about that.
I think she's one
of them, but
over as a heel. Like
over as a heel. She's not the most over heel for different reasons.
Over as a heel. Sorry, that's what I meant.
No, like she's not the most over as a heel either.
Okay.
People people love Brit. Like the whole fact that she had, like when they were advertising being in Pittsburgh, and it's like the lead up to that specific Dynamite. It's like we are coming from Pittsburgh. Like they were AEW was leaning into that hard. That's something that you can't get with some of the other heels.
We're gonna get to best moments. There's a certain mega heel that got the exact same attention and got the exact same pop she did.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, we'll talk about that when we get to some best moments. But yeah, that's all I got for that. If anybody else has anything to say about the match, like I think I went over most of it. Like, fuck. I mean, I don't see him doing another match like that anytime soon. But what's great, and somebody I was watching a video previously, and somebody made a good point was what's great is they're not doing this like every few months or every couple months. Like, you know, WWE throws out steel cage matches like they're free candy, you know. They're just, you know, every like half a year or something like that. Guess what? Boom, another lights out unsanctioned match. You know, it's not like they're consistently doing it. It's just one of those, hey, it popped up this at this point this year. Hey, it popped up over here at this point this year. You know, it's really great.
Mm-hmm.
So back to Mo. What is your second pick?
Back to Mo.
All right.
What they're worried about is that we're all so worried that somebody else picked a match that we didn't put on our list that none of us end up saying it.
I'm almost 95% sure my second pick, none of you chose. I'm almost 95% sure.
All right. You go ahead, Mo.
So I went with an NXT match for my first one.
Mhm.
This next one, it's coming around that time of year again for Wrestle Kingdom. And so my first immediate thought was the man who became God, Ibushi,
Yeah.
against Naito for the unification match.
Oh, the unification.
Night one of Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good match. Yeah.
Ibushi Naito. I honestly, I have Wrestle Kingdom matches on my honoraries, but I only have one New Japan match on my 5.
Heresy.
Well, I'm gonna talk about it, but
I mean,
go on, Mo.
we don't like get together and do a whole bunch of the New Japan, but it's like it's Wrestle Kingdom first of all, and it's 2 nights, but also it's just like, oh man, showing off the tenacity and the drive that both men have going up against each other. Naito with his crazy, wily ways, and Ibushi just like fucking Hulk of a dude, just like powering through, eventually becoming the double champion. Which I mean, nowadays it just seems like it kind of led into how this year had been in a way where there was plenty of double champions and stuff like that. But that was the first of the year, and I was just like, I really need to get more into the New Japan stuff. Like there's nothing but good things when it comes to the Wrestle Kingdom, and also when it comes to a lot of their other main pay-per-views.
Hmm.
And it's more of just learn, like when it comes to all these other companies, and it's like New Japan, and I just feel a romanticized version in my head of the training and the spirit and the drive, and then you see that all play out in a 30 to an hour long match, and they're still going at it, but it's just like, it's not just like boom 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 all the time. It's like build up, like it's like a movie every single time, and it's great. And that's Naito versus Ibushi was Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that. Like Naito and Ibushi are literally like two of the shiniest stars in like all of New Japan, for the most part. Yeah, I actually like Naito. Naito is just such a unique character in itself, and at the same time, he's such an amazing wrestler on top of all of that. And I don't remember, like I said, a lot of wrestling's happened since this past January, so I don't remember much about this match. But if anything, I can believe for a fact you add this to your one of your favorite matches of the year, because I honestly agree. It's Ibushi Naito. If he's not making somebody's like top of the year list, they're probably doing something wrong, and they usually don't.
Nick, do you have anything to say?
It was a very good match. The only reason why it probably would have been my top three was personal bias because I love Naito so much. So seeing him lose, I was like, oh, I like Ibushi, but Naito's my guy. LIJ for life, man.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. And I was like, even though I knew Ibushi was probably gonna win, I was like, I can't see my guy lose. So But yeah, it was a really good match. Ibushi became God for like a couple months. Until he lost it to Osprey.
Hey, he still became God.
Yes. And yeah, it was a really good match.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have much to say because I remember it, but it's
if we were gonna spend our whole time trying to like review or watch all these matches, that's like hours of my time.
I just don't have time. I got shit to do. Okay. I already watched these matches once.
But it did have an impact on me.
Yes. So
no
Nick,
pun intended.
So Nick, what's your second pick?
Speaking of Wrestle Kingdom Night 1, I have to go with Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay from Wrestle Kingdom Night 1.
Oh,
because that was a freaking great match. Don't you agree, Mo?
I cannot deny, good sir, that was not a spectacular match.
Oh,
what's that?
I used a bunch of negatives. Basically, yes, I agree with you. That was a great match.
Yeah.
And night 1, they blew the roof off, even if it was quiet clapping and exclamations going on.
But man, like the build to Okada Osprey was really good. It feels like Okada's New Japan's version of Cody Rhodes. All his friends tend to betray him at some point or another. I was like, Okada, why does Okada bothering to have friends? But yeah, like Osprey was like slowly being built up in chaos as like the kind of like he was basically kind of like a second in command of the group. Like he was the guy being built up, like groomed, possibly. Not, I don't know, maybe one day replace Okada as leader of Chaos. But then Osprey, like all those protege mentor storylines in wrestling, didn't want to wait his turn. He's like, I'm Will Ospreay, baby. I'm gonna become king right now. And he formed his own group, the United Kingdom, right?
Ooh, United Empire.
United Empire.
He made the United Kingdom. I like that though.
I couldn't remember what he called it.
On this day, no,
on
this day, Will Ospreay created the United
Kingdom. But he probably thinks so. But yeah, but did he? Didn't they short to the Empire?
No, it's United Empire.
Oh, it's United Empire now.
It's United Empire.
It started off as the Empire.
Yeah, it turned to United Empire.
And so he betrayed Okada. And Okada's
the last year's G1 costing Okada.
Mm-hmm. And so Okada's like, I'm getting sick and tired of people betraying me. I mean, first it was like Jay White and Ghetto. I number one, why he ever trusted Jay White? That's on you, Okada. Yeah, if you thought Switchblade wasn't going to turn on you, I don't know. I get Osprey was more of a surprise. So if you didn't see Switchblade turning on you, I get Gato was surprised. I mean, he was his manager for a while. But yeah, the build-up was really good. Classic former mentor protege betrayal. The teacher going to teach the student one final lesson. And honestly, I didn't know who was going to win this match. I thought it could go either way because of how these are two of the best wrestlers in the entire world. And they delivered on that. Ultimately, Okada won that match. He taught his student that he ain't the master yet. He ain't the Rainmaker.
So did you also
at the end, Okada won. So it was a great match.
My only nitpick with this was in general, United Empire fucking lost. Like really, like this lost both nights of Wrestle Kingdom. Like
yeah,
we're this new my Empire. We got this guy named Great Khan who's not really great right now, but give him to like next year's G1, and apparently he'll be better. And we got Jeff Cobb, Jeff Cobb, and now apparently they added like TJP's part of the group now. There's another guy they added during I think an Australian tour. Like I'm like,
because right before that match, Tanahashi beat Great Khan.
Then B Priestley got signed by NXT UK.
And then on night 2, Shingo Takagi beat Jeff Cobb to retain the openweight championship.
Yeah, I mean,
so honestly, they didn't have a good couple nights.
Yeah, I would say it was just a bit of a stumble for the Empire. If I have one criticism about the match, it's a great match. I recommend checking it out. You got some great spots. Like I found a highlights video. I finally found a highlights video for one of these picks. You know, one spot they showed was like that for the top rope Spanish fly they did at one point. His counter out of the Oz cutter. You know, just really good stuff overall. I mean,
this is their current lineup. So the founding members were Ospreay, Great Khan, Bea Priestley. She left in March of this year.
Yeah.
They added Jeff Cobb in 2020. So far this year, they've added Aaron Hinari. He used to be Toa Hinari.
Oh, he sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was the guy who always used to team with. You know who he is. He was the guy from New Zealand. He was like one of the young guys. He turned him. And then they signed, those Australians, the Kyle Fletcher. They signed Mark Davis. Then TJB joined in September 26. So he's the Impact representative in the group.
Right.
Yeah, that's their lineup right now. And Ospreay, he lost to Okada. He ultimately was the guy who slayed God. He took the IWGP World Heavyweight title from Ibushi. Unfortunately, fate was not on his side, and he got injured and had to vacate the title. But then he won the New Japan. Yeah, he won the New Japan Cup, won the world title. Then he got injured, unfortunately. But he has an opportunity because of this year's Wrestle Kingdom. He will face the winner of where's it at? Yes. Because on night 1, the main event is Takagi versus Okada for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. And the winner of that match will face Will Ospreay on night 2 for the title. So let's see if Ospreay regains the title he never lost.
Right. Okay, so next up is my second pick. And like I said, I am 95% sure nobody else has this match in the card because we're still in New Japan for this one. We're still in New Japan. We're a few months later to one of the best tournaments to watch outside of the other 2 tournaments to watch at the end of the year for New Japan. We are going to this year's G1 Climax. Day 1, Shingo Takagi versus Tomohiro Ishii. I loved this match. I am honest. There's a few honorary mentions from Wrestle Kingdom on my honorable mentions list. This is the only one I went, fuck it, I'm adding Ishii this year. Because, man, he is awesome.
Stone Pitbull.
Big, this is how I start my description. 6 words describe this match. Big, beefy men battering each other. That's all this match was. That's all I really need to say about this match. Hell, it was the only, I mean, there was quite a few good G1 Climax matches this year, you know, sans the last day, which was kind of, you know, tragic for the most part. But like, there was a lot of really good stuff this year, even though it wasn't one of the better year G1s. I still thought it was really good. And I just love some Stone Pitbull in my life. He showed up on this year on Dynamite for the first time, team with Orange Cassidy of all people, you know, did some great work there. Like fucking the Butcher paused his tour he was on with his band to go have a match against Tomohiro Ishii. That's how like iconic this dude is. I'm tired of just seeing him run around with a never open weight. I want him to win the main title, the main IWGP title. This man deserves a run with it at this point.
That is one thing I kind of mentioned. part of me kind of wants Okada to win because he might bring back the original belt. So
Yeah,
we'll have to
like,
see.
and we've talked too about like how each like division, like each wrestling company has one really good thing about them. Like AEW has a really good tag team division. Impact is one of the best women's divisions around, non-Japan related women's divisions around. Non-Japan focused women's divisions around. WWE has easily the best promo game per se, but the best like video packages around. Like bar none, they have one of the best. Like, all have little things here. New Japan currently has one of the best male rosters around, and this match proved that because you had him take on the current main champion Shingo Takagi, who like you were just talking about with your pick, had to make up for the time lost with Ospreay getting injured. Won a really good match against Okada. Was it at Dominion, this year's Dominion?
Yeah, and they're having a rematch now at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, and just if anybody was going to test the mettle of the current champion, of course it would have to be Tomohiro Ishii. That man is impossible to knock the fuck down. Literally, a man's nearly impossible to knock the fuck down.
That's why they call him the Stone Pitbull.
The brutal strikes Ishii was doing against Takagi's own brutal offense as well. Like Ishii gave Takagi a run for his money in this match. Even getting like quite a handful of near falls too. I know New Japan singles matches are known for near falls, but still, that's against the main champion. That's really impressive. As well. They had, for some reason, they decided to have a lariat off in the middle of this match, trying to knock each other down.
Because why not?
And then after all this, it took them headbutting each other, headbutting everyone crap out of each other for like Takagi to get the win over Ishii, with Last of the Dragon. Just like, holy crap. I even hard hitting, hard striking, and brutal spots that'll just not to the level Walter Dragunov, but like they were just, you could like, ooh, that's gotta hurt kind of spots. Like I said, well, Walter Dragunov would be David Goliath. This was easy, just Goliath versus Goliath, just two big men colliding with each other. I wonder if you guys have any other thoughts. I feel like I was kind of the only one around watching the G1.
Big beefy men. Are you sure you're not Vince McMahon, Kristen? You like big beefy men slapping each other?
Not really.
Likes that beef.
Yeah.
But does anybody? I don't think either of you have watched any of the G1. Have you from this year?
No, unfortunately, I rarely have time to watch as much wrestling as I do. As much as I like New Japan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I would recommend checking it out. It's like you said. It's day one. We all have. We have New Japan World, so I would recommend checking out the day that match. It's pretty good. I know the only two big things that come out of it was Naito got disqualified after his match against Zack Sabre because of an injury, and then there was the finals match, which was sad, generally sad, like depressingly sad, like. But there were still good matches. Honestly, I still recommend checking out some highlights matches. Easily this one. I don't want to bring Meltzer out of this, but I'll bring him a little bit here. This is the first match he gave a 5-star to in this year's G1. So, I mean, that I don't know. People don't care about Meltzer, but goddamn it, I had to agree with him on this one. This was an amazing match. Highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah.
So, Mo, your third pick is.
So, I've done NXT. It was great. Did New Japan. That was wonderful. It was spectacular. This next pick that I have is Bianca versus Bailey, Hell in a Cell.
2 years in a row. Your women's Hell in a Cell match makes most. Most.
So you went with Bianca Bailey over Bianca Banks.
You know what? Before you start, Mo, I'll give you this. At least Bailey pre-set up the spot she was going to do in 2020. At least this time she came pre-prepared. Go on.
There were moments like that, which were a nice callback, and they're awesome. Like nothing against Sasha, but it's like when it came to the whole run of Bailey in the run up for this, and then with Bianca added into the mix, everybody was going for Bianca. So it's like very much positive face. You want to cheer Bianca on. Bailey's doing her sneaky tactics, but it's not like you
No.
just like hate her. It's more like she's more of a cartoon villain.
I know. Ding dong. Hello.
It's not like
I love it.
it's not like overly being like an asshole or anything like that. It's more of a cartoon villain, but it's like you can't. How can you really hate her? She's all over the place, and her personality is great with that, and it helps with the already built-in um, established attitude for Bianca. So it's just like, how can Bianca overcome this? Bailey's already had history with the Hell in a Cell, so this is kind of like her thing at this point. But it was great overall, and I believe I remember women's Hell in a Cell is the only one that seems to do it right when it comes to it. So
Needing the structure, you mean, pretty much.
I mean, when it comes to the women doing Hell in a Cell matches, it's like they use the cell. It seems more akin to like the old Hell in a Cell matches from like the old WWE days compared to when the men do the Hell in a Cell matches, and it's like
Feels
they're
like why?
essentially
But why are they even bother having this in Hell in a Cell?
they're either having just a regular match in a Hell in a Cell, or there's something going on where it's just like this really didn't need to be in a cell because now it's just like there's something else that happened.
Yeah,
That
the match that comes to mind for me, I didn't even add on my honorable mentions was wait, was that this year? Fuck, was no, never mind. Scratch that. No, I thought it was another match. Honestly, no. Drew Bobby for some reason was in a cell for no reason. Was it? Was there three
it
Hell in a
was.
Cell matches this year?
No, there
There-
was going to be 3 on the show, but they moved Roman Mysterio to SmackDown.
Okay, yeah, that's the match at the end of the Hell in a Cell. Never mind. Continue, man.
oh no, that
Yeah, because Roman beat the shit out of Mysterio the whole match.
but that's essentially what I have going. Again, when it comes to these women, there's shining moments,
Yeah.
and I like to stick to a Hell in a Cell time and night one WrestleMania and not go anywhere beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
All
That's,
right.
that's all I have to say.
I mean, yeah,
You know
I'm watching highlights right now. There's some good stuff overall. I mean, honestly, I think Edge Rollins had like one of the best Hell in a Cell spots of the year. Overall, this match really delivered as well for the women. Like, there's some great spots throughout. Like I said, Bailey from 2020 had her structure set up properly this time. And it was a decent spot for the most part. There was just a lot of amazing stuff back and forth between the two. And I guess my only nitpick is this wasn't even this was even the final match of their rivalry. It was supposed to be
It
freaking
should have ended here.
it was supposed to be an I Quit match of Money in the Bank for some reason.
I know the only thing I didn't like about this feud was because of that. It was got to the point was if you keep having Bailey lose these big matches, it just makes her look bad.
Yeah.
And honestly, lucky unlucky, Bailey got hurt, and so they had to end the feud. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not glad she got hurt because I miss Bailey. But damn, that feud was just tearing her down. It was like, why is Bailey getting her title shot? She's already lost like clearly like 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah, and there were some great spots. Like I said, there was the Suns where Bailey sunfoot flipped Bianca into the cage, where Bianca spine busted Bailey through the kendo stick spot. There was just a lot of great like splashes, like when Bailey went for a splash while Bianca was sandwiched in between the ladders, for instance. Just a lot of great stuff from both of them. Like even the spot where like Bianca just ties her hair into into Bailey's arm and just starts holding her and just like, you know, like a freaking one of those toys with the ball and just cutting back and forth and beating the shit out of her. Just some great spots overall, honestly. And then honestly, a solid pick. Like, I could say there was 2 really good Hell in a Cell matches this year. And ironically, one of them was from a pay-per-view not a lot of people watched. But
Yeah, that was the thing about Crown Jewel. Like, people always think, oh, it's a Saudi show, so it's gonna suck. It actually was pretty good this year.
yeah. And Nick, what is your third pick?
All right. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised nobody's picked it so far. It might have been your third pick, Kristen. We'll see. AEW Full Gear, Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship.
That's in my honorable mentions.
Really?
How?
You'll see what my third pick is, and you go, okay, that makes sense.
His third pick's Daniel Bryan.
We'll find out.
Well, go on. Go on.
So yeah, the thing is, man, this thing had 2 years build. It's Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page. The story's been building and building from them being in the Elite, them being tag team partners, to falling out, the facing off last year, and Hangman, and also Hangman going on this journey to get the belt, and he keeps failing and failing. They're supposed to fight all out, but Hangman couldn't compete because he had to be there for his wife because he had a kid on the way. And then now, finally, they meet at Full Gear. The culmination of the dissolution of the Elite storyline. They beat the ever-loving shit out of each other. The Young Bucks come down. You think, oh no, they're going to do something. And then I don't remember if it was Matt or Nick. Just nod his head.
They both nodded.
They finally made peace after so long, and Hangman just hit that lariat, pin Kenny Omega 1, 2, 3. Hangman Adam Page, AEW World Champion. Finally, it's just that is textbook pro wrestling storytelling. It's why we watch pro wrestling. It was just very well done. That's how you do long-term storytelling.
Okay, so easily that match was the best story-driven match of the year, hands down. I'm sorry, it was 2 years of build-up. It was 2 years. I forgot the dude's name, but there's a guy online who did a really good 5-part like highlights package of the build-up to this. 2 years worth, ranging from BTE stuff to Dynamite stuff to pay-per-view stuff to the TV special stuff, everything. It's a 5-part thing. I forgot the dude's name. I apologize. It is worth watching because just when like Hangman wins the title finally,
why don't you post a link to it down below?
Yeah, I'm gonna find it and we're gonna post a link down below to it. Highly recommend checking this out because the guy was wrapping up part 5 and then Hangman won and he just added everything from that into part 5 and like it was gold. I think the one thing I want to bring up, dude, the reason they nodded. Because the apology Hangman made to them mattered. Everything he has done to them from that point forward, everything he done for the last couple years, digging him over, just not being there like they want him to. After all that, all they wanted was an apology. And in the end, that's what worked. That's all he did. He told him, I'm sorry. You know, we both got at each other. We both got our revenge. We're set. You know, I will beat the shit out of you if you interfere in my match. Much respect. And just, oh my God, it's such a great build-up and such a satisfying ending. Such a satisfying way to cap off the story. You know, just, oh my God, that you didn't bring up after. Like, Dark Order shows up, hands him a beer, he fucking throws away the beer. You know, that's another great sign that, like, I mean, I don't say he's not out being a functioning alcoholic, but like it's his first sign of accepting he's out of that part of his life by going in, embracing the Dark Order. You know, just fuck the Dark Order. I know, right? Like Dark Order was amazing. The stuff with Brody Lee, God rest his soul, was amazing. Like, you know what's ironic? I believe this is the one. Ironically, and God bless this, I believe as it's recording, today's recording, this I believe is the 1 year anniversary of his passing, Brody Lee's passing as well. and just he would have been so proud of his whole thing, honestly. And I said it was the best story-driven match there. And there was one spot you didn't bring up. Remember how we were talking about, oh, he's gonna kick out the one-winged angel. They're building this up where he's gonna kick out the one-winged angel, and then he flipped it on his head where it was Omega kicking out of his own finisher in the end with his finisher. Omega kicking out of his own finisher instead, which was a nice turnaround on that, which I liked. I really enjoyed that. And it was just a great match between two former friends. And like, what else can you say other than that? I mean,
my opinion, and they were my 2020 tag team of the year.
Which the Bucks?
No, Hangman and Omega.
Oh, Hangman, yeah. I honestly I have nothing else to say. The pre-match package was great. Him riding to the arena on a horse, doing that drone shot of you seeing the Dark Order running to the arena, which was legitimately, I saw the behind the scenes for that. It was legitimately that all of them just running down that like bridge to the arena, which was so fucking great. Just the little screen showing how far he's gone from the beginning of AEW to where he is now. And honestly, like, he's easily it was easily a great match that capped off an amazing story. Like, props. And it's going to be interesting to see where we go next.
Yeah. All right. So we most had his 3. I had my 3. Kristen, what is your number 3?
I feel like we will get crucified if we don't bring up one of these 2 matches. Bring up my favorite wrestler of all time and of this year. Because if we don't bring up one of these 2 matches, we're going to hear it. We're going to hear about it from friends, probably family, probably random people online. I have to do this. Though I have 2 other matches that were good.
Yes, but will we care? I know I won't.
What? Okay, let me ask you then. What match do you think I chose out of the 2 matches I'm hinting at?
Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega at Grand Slam.
You got it right the first time. I'm gonna be honest. Hangman Omega is an honorary mention because I know it's a story thing, but I can't help for a fact the time limit draw, second time limit draw, kind of bugs me a little. I get where they're going story wise with it, but it bugs me a little.
Well, I'll talk about that also.
It just ekes the Grand Slam match. Just ekes out a bit more because it makes sense more here. Omega's champion. We don't want him losing against Danielson, but we don't want Danielson losing because it's his first match AEW, his first match post WWE, and he's been with WWE for over 8 years. Is it 8 years? 9 years? He's definitely been there for a while.
10 years, man. I think he's been there since 2011, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, that might be off and on because he was fired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then he was retired for like 3 or 4 years.
From his amazing debut at the end of this year's All Out to his match there, you can tell this wasn't the WWE Danielson. This was Ring of Honor Danielson. This was American Dragon Danielson. This was, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm going to bash your fucking head in Danielson. Legitimately did not care about the title at the moment. Just like, no, I want to kick Omega's ass.
Yeah, that's the difference. Like CM Punk says, I came to AEW to wrestle the young guys. Bryan Danielson said, I came to AEW to fight the very best.
See, that's where I'm honestly on the side of people who believe he's not a heel right now. No, this is Bryan Danielson. This is not heels. This is, you can call it or whatever.
This is the American Dragon.
This is Bryan Danielson. This is the man who beat the shit out of the likes of Samoa Joe, the likes of Nigel McGuinness, the likes of Kenta in one match. I'm remembering these from highlights I've heard about Danielson's career. This is a man who beat their fucking faces in. This is the Danielson we're getting, and this is the Danielson we're currently getting right now with his feud Wangman, Hangman, however you want to say it. Like, this is that feud we're getting now. And this is the Danielson we got in that Omega match. This is the man who said, I have until 5. This is the man who literally wrecked Omega's shit. And Omega returned in favor. Like, of course, one of the more well-known spots is him doing that flying fucking VTuber from the top of the ramp into Danielson's head. Like, damn, that was brutal. Like, for 30 minutes straight, they put on one of the best pro wrestling clinics you will have seen this year. Honestly. And that is nothing to say about the winners coming match, because I think that was still a really well done match. But this was just, if there was ever a time to dip your toes into AEW, I would suggest using Danielson as that little toe dipping and starting with that match. You get to see what I know, phrasing, but bear with me on this. But this match shows what, not only why Danielson chose AEW, but why you should still be watching Daniel Bryan post. Well, watching Bryan Danielson post Daniel Bryan is a good way of putting it. You know, this match showed that. I did not mind the time limit draw. There was already rumors that it was going to be a time limit draw because there's no way Omega is losing to him.
Daniel Bryan Danielson.
Whatever. But
want
this
those little
match,
Danielson toes there?
Yeah,
like,
you want to do what with Daniel's toes? With Daniel's toes?
Honestly, I have two other matches of Bryan's on my list because of course
I bet you
three
do.
other matches on the list. Well, 2, 3. But honestly, go on if you guys have anything else to say about the match.
I'm just thinking about you obsessing over Bryan Danielson's toes.
With those little toes.
You want them vegan toes, don't you?
No.
You're not gonna phase me. I fucking love this match. I don't care what the fuck how I fucking said it.
No, I don't think we were gonna face you at any point in time. It was, we know you enough to where it's just like, Bryan Danielson.
I mean, it's fine, Kristen. A lot of people are in defeat.
Did you guys have anything else to say about this match?
It was great. Yeah, it was a great match. Bringing up, like you said, yeah, this match going to a draw. Like, yeah, I hate draws because no one won or lose, but still a good match. And I think it was a mistake to do it so soon. I think time limit draw should be a rare thing. And doing it so soon with Danielson, Hangman, to me kind of diminish that match a bit. I would have rather them done a screwy finish than a time limit draw because I just don't want to see that overused.
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah,
I agree.
But yeah, it was a great match. Yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, it's Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. How could they not have a freaking great match?
Right. Okay, so that was our 3 main ones we consider some of the best from this year. So any remaining ones we have, and I have a list here of other ones we have. We'll do quick discussions about them. Nothing major like we have right now. We'll do quick discussions. This one will go in reverse order. So
I have
me
one.
first.
I have one left from the 5 I picked.
Yeah, we'll
5
start
or 6
off.
I picked.
Yeah, we'll start off with the ones we ones we have left on our list. We'll start with those as honorable mentions. So my honorable mention match, the 5th one I chose, was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match from this year's Money in the Bank.
Ooh.
I like this match. I know WWE is not great this entire last 2 or 3 years, depending on how you're counting. But WrestleMania had a good match. Okay, let me just get quick. This had everything we needed for a ladder match, especially a Money in the Bank ladder match. We had every member of the opponents in this match. You could probably see more than likely winning. Every person in this match delivered in some way, shape, or form. Everybody delivered in their spots, like Kevin Owens' brutal ladder spot, Ricochet's callback to his NXT ladder match, where he did the tilting, like diving, like splash outside the ring, and then ultimately the right person won in Big E. Somebody who's been deserving of this win for like a while now, and it worked. It pretty much worked. Like his Avalanche big ending, like everything. Oh, Matt Riddle doing RKOs to people, like it was handing out free candy and shit. Like, just some great stuff overall. I thought this was easily my favorite, like one of my favorite ladder matches of the year too. That was my honorable mention. That was my
remaining one.
Remaining.
Yeah. Mo, did you have any left over?
I mean, I have a few left over here.
No, I got the 5 you picked. Was there any ones that we didn't mention?
Whoa. MJF versus Darby Allin at Full Gear.
Yes. I have that in my honorable mentions on my main list.
I will say that watching them do their back and forth was great, and it was like one of the beginning matches for Full Gear, which was also interesting. But it's just like overall, I was seeing more of a agile version of MJF, so it's like allowed MJF to showcase his more of an athletic side, because it's like most of the matches that I see is him more grounded, doing screwy finishes, not presenting himself as much, which I mean is part of his whole thing, is being a heel. But
that's what's great about MJF. Yeah, that's what's great about MJF is he talks a lot of shit, but what's funny is he has the pedigree to back it up. You know, he has the skills to back up what he says. He really is a really good wrestler, which is really cool. I like that. And like, no matter if he wins or loses, his mouth is always able to, write the checks for him,
I was gonna say, watch how you end that.
Yeah, I know how I was gonna say it, but no, he writes checks for. And this was great about this match. This was a professional wrestling match between two skilled young competitors, and MJF really showed his stuff. MJF really showed what he's capable of. Yeah, it was an MJF screwy finish, but we were expecting that. Who wasn't expecting that? I mean, seriously. But like, it was a really good match, and Allen could easily take the loss and move on. Do you have another match, Mo, that didn't make like?
Anything else from year 5 that didn't get picked?
Alexander versus Cage, Bound for Glory.
Wow, another year of another Impact match for me.
Yeah, Josh, that was actually it was going to be an honorable mention, I thought, but Josh Alexander for Kristen Cage was really good. Yeah.
Best part about that match, it was a good match. I will admit, it's a good match. Was what Moose did, because
Moose did afterwards.
As I commented on Nick's article when he posted it up, Moose doesn't give a fuck about your family.
Well, I mean, come on. Throughout
Moose
the whole
is such a
entire
heel,
match,
man.
Well, throughout the whole entire match, just like shots of the wife, shots of the kid, close up of the kid. Is the kid crying? Shots of that. Shots of the kid again.
Get him fucking crying.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Is dad winning? Smack the kid. Get him to cry. Shots. Shots of the family. Shots hugging. Find some shots of those families. I need shots of Alexander's family for Spider-Man.
Honestly, it was easily one of my favorite screwy finishes of the year. Like screwy finishes to a pay-per-view of the year, easily.
It was like when they were brought into the ring too. Like,
and then they're just crying there on Alexander's body while Moose is like, yeah, that's right, I fucking won. I don't give a fuck about your family.
He called a shot.
And
man.
And to be fair, too, the buildup with Moose has been great. The hard to kill match buildup has been good from what I've heard. Him calling Matt Cardona Mid Cardona.
Yeah.
Which is clever. And
the W. Morrissey thrown in there.
Yeah, then Cardona accidentally plopping Chelsea Green with a steel chair.
Yeah, honestly, if I didn't want Alexander to regain the belt from Moose, that would be really so hard for Matt Cardona, because I've always loved Zack Ryder. I was like, Alexander needs a real run. But right now, Josh Alexander is in a great feud right now with Jonah. That's going to be a great match of Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hard to Kill, the Forbidden Door, they just announced that Jonathan Gresham will defend the Ring of Honor World title against Chris Sabin.
Okay.
I never thought I'd see the day Ring of Honor and Impact be working together again.
Oh, I feel like that door is going to swing towards AEW soon as well.
And they haven't worked together since the Raw Feinstein controversy. There's a little infamous wrestling history there. I'm surprised that has that been a Dark Side of the Ring episode? The Raw Feinstein controversy?
No.
I'm surprised that hasn't.
It's probably on their list for like season 3. So Nick, did you have any other additional?
Yes, I did.
What's your one additional?
The one additional I had was from NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in an unsanctioned match.
Okay, I agree, but go on. I agree with that. Go on.
O'Reilly Cole was a very, very good feud. You know, Adam Cole went back to his heelish ways, which I kind of expected, but him and I don't know. I figured the Undisputed Era would have to come to an end eventually. But the way Cole betrayed O'Reilly came out of nowhere.
Oh,
And I think it was at the end of Vengeance Day. No, when was it? It was after Balor done. What was that at?
Balor done.
That was Vengeance Day. That was. Yeah, and that was such a really good match. The build up was really good. Kyle O'Reilly, he's not as good of a guy talker on the mic as Adam Cole is, and that kind of showed in one of the contract signs they had. But he got better and better on the mic. It felt so personal. Like we're at the point where they were beating each other up so bad that William Regal had to call the cop, had to get the cops. The cops got called on him, and William Regal had to get the cops to let them go. And that's why the match had to be made unsanctioned because Kyle O'Reilly wouldn't clear him to compete in an actual match. And they beat for 40 minutes and 19 seconds. I'm looking at it right now. They beat the ever living shit out of each other with whatever they get their hands on.
My only criticism about this was I wish this was it. The feud continued because Adam Cole guys win, and then they had a culmination match at TakeOver 36.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, great.
But all three of those matches were good. It was a good trilogy.
I just feel like the third match was like, okay, we're doing this. I mean, unsanctioned match could have been a lot, but okay.
But the first match, I decided to go with that one because it was just brutal. You really believe like these two hated each other's guts. Kyle O'Reilly, this should have led to him becoming a top guy in NXT. Unfortunately, they decided 2.0 that brand, and he ended up leaving. And now they're back together again on Dynamite. Like it is weird to see after this whole year they've been beating shit out of each other on Dynamite. They're now all best friends again.
Yeah, them's the breaks. Before I start honorable mentions, I guess I lied before. I did have Bucks Lucha Bros as an honorable mention on my matches covered. I did have it originally. I'm telling you the truth. Fuck off. Okay, so we're gonna start honorable mentions. I have a big list here, and if I miss any
he's got a little list, and he'll never.
So okay, so of course, Belair Banks from WrestleMania 37 Night 1. Mm-hmm. That was on my honorable mentions. If you guys have anything about any of these matches, just let me know. I had Shingo Takagi versus Jeff Cobb from this year's Night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom. Because I thought that was really good. Like I've slowly started to become like this was I think it was a match where I'm like I really started becoming a Shingo Takagi fan. And with Jeff Cobb there, amazing. Belair Bailey we already talked about. The Universal Title Triple Threat match from Night 2 WrestleMania 37.
Yeah, Adam sent me his top 5, and that was one of them.
Okay.
So yeah, we've mentioned one already, Omega Danielson.
Okay, I'll keep going.
And Edge Roman Danielson was also on there. And if we don't, and when you finish, I can also mention the rest of them on here.
Okay, so I had Universal Triple Threat. I thought, like I said, good Triple Threat main event. I don't know. At this point, with Roman Reigns going over a year as champ, now I feel like it's starting to wear a bit thin. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But as for this, it was good. Still a really good match. It was.
I was just hoping that Reigns should have dropped the belt there, at least for a while. I honestly would have been happy with Bryan or Edge. And the way he beat them was just so dominating that it was kind of insulting.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they led to Danielson leaving.
Roman, my next match I had on honorable mentions was Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan at the April 30th SmackDown, aka Bryan's last match in WWE. For now, I guess. That was really good.
You might go back.
This one, I was kind of on the fence of adding, but I'm glad I didn't. but I think this was good, despite what pay-per-view was on. That was Edge Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match at this year's Crown Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually really well done. Had one of my favorite spots of any Hell in a Cell match here. It's where Rollins gets thrown into the steel cage. He goes ding and then bounces off and lands into a table. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't always work out. When it does, it's fucking golden.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what was great about it? This match needed a Hell in a Cell match to wrap this feud up.
Yeah.
And it got it.
This is why I kind of don't like gimmick pay-per-views, because it feels like they always shoehorn them in sometimes into matches like these. And this one felt like this is where this feud needed Hell in a Cell to finish it off. And I feel like that's how it should be.
The triple threat for the AEW World Championship.
Oh, yeah.
From Double or Nothing 2021. I know this was just a stepping stone in Omega's
it was a filler in his feud, but
it was so fucking amazing though, regardless.
Yeah, screwy finish though.
It's a triple threat. I give it a pass if it's if it has no disqualification. But it was still great. It was still great from all three guys in this match. What else can you say? It was really well done.
Orange Cassidy. A lot of people don't like Orange Cassidy. I think he's great. Well, not just because of his gimmick, which I think is funny as hell, but he's really good in the ring too.
Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix.
Of course, Pac is Pac.
Yes. Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix at this year's New Year's Smash event.
Yeah, that was good. Mm-hmm.
The Bucks versus Death Triangle at the April 14th episode of Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I had to add this because it was one of my favorite fun matches of the year. The Arcade Anarchy match from the March 31st episode of Dynamite.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not only saw the first return of the year for Trent, but also saw the return of Chris Statlander and had a lot of amazing stuff to Raw. Plus, the right people won. And this was the end of Video Game Miro and the birth of the God's favorite champion, Miro.
Thank God for God's favorite champion. Former champion now.
Danielson versus Kingston on the October 29th episode of Rampage to get into the finals of the World Title Eliminator Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff here. Of course, Brian Hangman Dynamite winner is coming. It's an hour-long match. It's really well done. It still hurts a bit with the whole second time limit draw of the year. But that was just amazing. Gushing blood. Spots left and right. Hangman with the craziest counter from a top rope. I think Brian was trying to do some kind of like avalanche German, and fucking Hangman backflips and lands on his fucking feet. Was chef's kiss. That was good shit. That was such great stuff overall. I mean, right there, just amazing. I said time on draw withstanding, but. And then Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk at Full Year. That's
on Adam's list. That's 3.
Okay. And then finally, because I will get murdered by this man if I don't bring it up, Minoru Suzuki versus Daniel Bryan at the AEW Rampage buy-in.
Bryan Danielson.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. That was
used to, but
to me, it felt criminal for that not to be on television.
But it was still fucking great. It was the craziest grandpa in all professional wrestling taking on the now craziest young motherfucker. Dude, it's just amazing from both guys. And we got enough time for it. Like, whoo boy. Those are all mentions that we haven't mentioned. I put up. What else did Adam put for his top ones?
He had 2 other ones that he had CM Punk versus Darby Allin.
That was good.
From AEW All Out.
Wasn't that technically almost a shot-for-shot recreation of Hart versus 1-2-3 Kid?
They just took that one spot where.
The one spot? Okay.
Yeah. He also had Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly at New Year's Evil for the NXT Championship.
Okay. No, okay.
That was a good match.
What was it? O'Reilly who again?
Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly for the NXT title.
Yeah, that was good. I think I love their one from 2020 though a bit more. The first match, the first
Mhm.
2020 match.
And that was his top 5.
Okay.
We've mentioned all of them, and of course, I had to mention a couple others.
Okay, go on.
There was 2 others from Bound for Glory that I thought were really good. There was Trey Miguel versus El Fantasmo versus Steve Macklin for the vacant X Division Championship.
That was good.
And there was Mickey James versus Gianna Perazzo for the Knockouts Championship.
That was also good.
And to me, that was the top 3 matches from that one. What else do we have this year? Should go back.
Omega versus Swan.
Yeah, from Rebellion. That was good.
Yeah, that was definitely good.
Oh, yeah. Omega versus Sammy Callahan Slammiversary. That was a good match. Oh, how could I forget? And Hard to Kill Eddie Edwards versus Sammy Callahan, a barbed wire massacre match.
Wait, is that the one that had the barbed wire N64 controller?
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool. I love that. I like that match. Plus, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was a great, man, I don't know. Something about barbed wire matches, Impact has always done really well in. Honestly, I think they're the best approaches ECW to do barbed wire matches. Because you look at all the barbed wire massacres in history, I think the first one was Abyss versus Sabu. That's a classic. But man, yeah, Eddie Edwards versus Sammy Callahan is one of the greatest feuds in Impact history, in my opinion. I know it's kind of a recreation of Tommy Dreamer versus Raven, but damn it works. And that was the culmination of their feud. And that reminds me of another Sammy Callahan match. So Sammy Callahan versus I think it was Trey Miguel, wasn't it? When was that? I think that was also Rebellion.
That was Rebellion. Was that Rebellion? I know that was one of the Impact pay-per-views. I know they.
Yeah, that had to have been Rebellion because then Callahan faced Omega at Slammiversary.
Yeah.
Rebellion has a lot of good matches actually. Yeah, Trey Miguel versus Sam Callahan, the last man standing match.
Right.
That was a good match. That was also when Josh Alexander beat TJP and Ace Austin in that triple threat match for the X Division title.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What other matches did we have this year? Let me see. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, you brought up Takagi versus Jeff Cobb, right?
Yep, that was one of my honorable. That was one of my honorable mentions.
Okay. We go down. Where is it? We brought that one up. Young Bucks, Nielsen. Oh yeah. This one was kind of not really brought up a lot by people, but also Full Gear, the Super Click versus Christian Cage and Jurassic Express.
That was
a good match.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think what else this year. Mo, what was some of your other ones? What I think?
Any honorable mentions, Mo? You have that we haven't brought up
so far. Everything has been brought up except for the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that had a lot of fun stuff in it overall. I really enjoyed that one.
Man, that's one thing I got to mention once again. For another year, Impact has delivered. So all you people on the internet still using old jokes about TNA and Impact, you're behind the times because Impact Wrestling is one of the best promotions in the world right now. TNA. I mean, it's a great promotion. To the people out there, you know who you are, trying to say, "Oh, Impact sucks." Like you're behind the times, buddy.
Well,
it's a Dixie Carter's TNA.
If anybody wants some nostalgia, the very first TNA pay-per-view is available for free on YouTube. You just have to find it.
Yeah. And also you can get Impact Plus. It's got most of their library. There's only a few things missing.
Mo, did you have any more? Or is that it? That one? Wow. We knocked a lot of them out of the park.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of them.
Okay.
Let me look back at this one. Oh man, how can we forget about? Oh man, this was the greatest match of the year at Hard to Kill.
Which
Ethan
one?
Page versus the Karate Man.
Oh,
I
Jesus
hate you.
Christ.
That was
Right.
glorious. How could we have forgotten that match? It's a crime to have forgotten that glorious match between two icons.
Okay, sure. Sure, that's an honorable mention. I guess that would be more of my WTF matches of the year.
I mean,
It
if we're gonna go that
hey,
route, then the exploding barbed wire match.
oh god, that wasn't even funny. That was sad.
Okay.
Like at least Karate Man was funny. Come on,
So-
Kristen. We can go back and watch it. You laughed your ass off there on that.
No, it was funny. I'm
It
just
was
like,
funny as hell.
I'll give it an honorable mention. Yeah, it was fun, enjoyable.
Yeah.
So now for this, we're gonna change things up a little. We're gonna talk about some moments. I have a good chunk of moments listed. I'm gonna bring them up, and then we can talk about them if you want. So one, like, these are best moments, like the ones we generally enjoyed overall. So first one I have is Bad Bunny being amazing at WrestleMania 37.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he did a fucking Canadian Destroyer and John Morrison. Or a Bunny Destroyer. I don't know what they said anymore. He had a really good showing there. I mean, fuck, it's easily one of the best celebrity matches of all time. Like, thanks to pandemic, he was able to focus on Bad Bunny was able to focus on all of his wrestling training, and he actually delivered. You know, it didn't exactly work out the best for Damian Priest, but he's United States champion right now. Let's see.
I'm just trying to think of other celebrity matches right now.
The owner,
I mean,
like,
with Bad Bunnies, it worked
Oh
out.
man, another great one. If we want to talk about celebrity matches, I guess he was a celebrity at the time. Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. That was a great one.
that was a good one. Was that this year or last year?
No, that was last year. I'm just talking about he was
Oh,
talking
in
about good
general?
celebrity.
Yeah,
Good
that one. I thought the Mayweather Big Show match from a while back was good.
And Cody and Brandy, Shaq, and that match to me, it wasn't great, but it was better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it was what it was. Next up, I swear to God, I was not going to end this year without bringing up this amazing moment from this year. I'm going to say Royal Rumble 2021. What moment am I talking about?
Gangrel's Gangrel entrance.
Royal Rumble. That was SummerSlam.
Well, Edge appearance.
Like, I'll give you a clue.
Oh, right. Titus O'Neil sliding underneath the ring. Did I get it?
No, fucking so. It's Kevin Owens getting hit with a golf cart by Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, that was glorious.
People are gonna I've seen best moments of the year list. I'm like, look, I know I'm expecting it to win, but come on, you gotta mention it. Out of fucking nowhere, this man gets hit with a
Boom.
goddamn golf cart. And gets up like it's fucking nothing. Like, fuck.
People like, oh, it's the Sammy Guevara spot. I was like, it was different enough, and it was still good.
Yeah, it was like, and we were just like, oh shit, he just got run over with the golf cart, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I kind of slightly mentioned this, but the other two O'Reilly Cole batches were both good too, like Great American Bash and Takeover 36. I had to mention those. I briefly mentioned them, but I wanted to make that clear. All three of those matches were great.
Yeah. Cole and Bryan debuting at All Out 2021.
Yeah, when they kind of faked this out, thinking it was just going to be Adam Cole, and then it was Bryan Danielson right after.
Hell yeah. I take back what I said there. I thought
their heads off when that happened.
Yeah.
But
I take back what I said on that video.
These are another match. Like we talking about Edge Rollins and Crown Jewel. Edge Rollins at SummerSlam was also a good match.
It was probably the only good match.
Yeah, I think it was the only good match. Pre-Sheamus was pretty good on that one.
The return of CM Punk to professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't.
Oh, he's obviously going to win Return of the Year for awards.
No
He has
shit.
to. He has to.
I lost my shit. I couldn't believe it. His promo afterwards is great. Fuck, I gotta remember. I gotta add that to my promos list. Okay, there we go. But yeah, fuck yeah. Punk returning. I never thought it would happen, and it happened. Fucking shit. We knew it was probably gonna happen. The prelude, next up, the prelude and beginning of Happy Corbin. The prelude stuff when he was poor, broke, out of his men, and then when the Happy Corbin stuff started, you were kind of enjoying it for a bit, and then for some reason they added a madcap. Yeah, it's like Happy Corbin, like prelude being a Happy Corbin will be another great moment.
Here's another match we didn't mention. I'm going through WWE pay-per-views because I feel like I didn't go through those enough. Even though he didn't win. Roman Reigns Cesaro WrestleMania Backlash was a good match.
That was a good match. Except if you really look at it, they was like, here, we'll promise you some main event spotlight, and then that's it.
I know, his push just suddenly ended. Like, where is Cesaro right now?
Feud of Sheamus.
Oh, Cesaro Rollins at WrestleMania Night 1. That was good.
Yes, it was. Yeah, there's a lot of good matches. It's really hard to. Oh, you'll like this, Nick. Christian winning the Impact title on the August 13th episode of Rampage. Literally the second episode of Rampage, Christian Cage wins the Impact World title from Kenny Omega.
He won a belt that he never got the win when he was in TNA.
Yeah. Easily one more surprising moment. Malachi Black's AEW debut at Road Rager.
It's just gonna be all AEW debuts, isn't it?
No, it's not. This is just I kept on going back and forth in my head to list off moments between WWE and AEW. But let's be honest. Somebody fucked up to give us that moment. Somebody fucked up his contract to give us that moment.
Yeah.
Can't write that. Somebody legit fucked that up. Forgot to switch his 30 days.
He
90.
got fired.
He switched his 30 to 90. It just.
Oh, here's another match. The Elimination Chamber 2021, the WWE title Elimination Chamber match. That was a good Elimination Chamber. That came down to Drew McIntyre and AJ.
Yep. Yeah, it was good.
It ultimately led to Miz stealing the belt, and then Miz lost the belt 8 days later to Bobby Lashley. And then we had never-ending Lashley McIntyre feud, but there we go.
Then I have two WWE related ones. From WrestleMania 37 Night 1. The hair whip heard around the world.
Jesus Christ.
Goddamn. I can still hear it to this day. It's still echoing throughout the Raymond James Stadium. And of course, Belair winning the night 1 of the main event. Great moment. Great moment for her overall.
I'm almost done. I'm going backwards in time. 2 more matches from NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. Gargano versus Kushida for the North American title.
That was good.
And Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne for the NXT title.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be difficult just to.
It's been a whole year, guys. There's a lot of matches. I'm just trying to refresh my memory.
Of course, we already talked about this before, but Hangman Page, of course, winning the AEW World Title at Full Gear. Finally, great moment in itself.
There we go. That's all my WWE picks. Okay. This
wasn't on any program, any company thing, but I thought I would mention it because it's still worth reading. Eddie Kingston's Players Tribune article from November 9th is a must read. It's a great moment. Was that, Nick?
I was going to say the promos between Punk and Kingston were glorious. I'm sure that's going to be under promos a bit.
Yes. But yeah, the Kingston's Players Tribune article from November 9th. It's worth a read. You really get to know the guy a bit better, and you can understand how much it really means to him that he's part of the AEW roster.
Mm-hmm.
Woods winning King of the Ring from Crown Jewel 2021. Let's be honest, we didn't think the dream come true, but it did at a flipping Crown Jewel event. Go figure.
I had to get over that.
Whatever.
It's too bad it came at the expense of Finn Balor because he just had a weird, embarrassing loss to Roman Reigns. Then he loses the King of the Ring tournament. Where even is Finn Balor? He's disappeared.
He's feuding with Theory at the moment.
With what?
Austin Theory. He's feuding with Austin Theory at the moment.
Wow. Well, that's gonna lead nowhere. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. But still a great moment. I think his new crown is a bit big. I don't know how to say it. I'll say it. I think it's a cool design, but it's really big. Like,
Well, yeah, Roman broke his old crown.
yeah. Oh, and of course, how can you not mention the December 8th episode of Dynamite from Long Island, New York? MJF goes home. That entire episode was a moment because it was Bret Hart going to Canada moment.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Where you start, him getting cheered, CM Punk doing the swerve at the beginning, MJF doing that is it a promo package where it was the announcer listing off his accolades while he's standing in the middle of his old alma mater's football stadium. You know, that was amazing. The stuff he did to make it look like he was a face, but actually still fucking dick heel. Like, just all around, the entire episode was the right way to go with MJF showing up in Long Island, New York. Okay, and now I have promos. Okay, spoiler alert, they're all from AEW. I'm sorry. Like, I'll admit, Edge has some good ones leading up to his WrestleMania match. He even had a couple good ones against his Rollins feud. But honestly, it was primarily Edge and Reigns, and that was really it in terms of really good promos. Like, generally amazing promos this year.
We at the Mania, all three of them had great promos, like Bryan, Reigns, and Edge.
But promo-wise, where do we start? Punk's return speech at Rampage: The First Dance. Great way to vent to the fans and make them understand why he's been away for so long. Punk Kingston, November 5th, Rampage. What can you say? Else can you say about it? It was just, here's what I think of you. I think you're a punk bitch. Let's do it. You know, nobody liked you back then. They probably certainly don't like you now. Oh yeah, that's great. And when I beat you again, you can leave and not come back for another 7 years. Great stuff.
And the King's like, I don't even want to win. I just want to beat your ass.
Arn Anderson's Glock promo from
Yes.
September 30th Dynamite.
Get the Glock. Get the Glock. Get the Glock.
Get the Glock. Oh no! What made that too was Brandy's expressions outside the ring. Like, wait, what? Glock? What the hell is he talking? Honestly,
sometimes,
that was great.
Cody, you gotta shoot a motherfucker.
The cowboy. Is it the Cowboy Shit Dynamite promo from the October 16th Dynamite? It was a promo I've been waiting for this whole year, with Hangman finally getting over that hill, getting on that hot metaphorical and literal high horse, and getting ready to win that fucking title. And that promo cemented that. It was really well done. And finally, last but not least, the Dynamite Thanksgiving promo between Punk and MJF.
Mm-hmm.
What else can you say other than, in order for you to make it big here, you're gonna have to wait till Coney Khan has a daughter and then you can marry her.
And when he pointed out how he stole his catchphrase from The Miz.
Yeah. Just, oh my God. Promo-wise, just like, what the fuck, man? It was really good, especially from AEW. I put best pay-per-views. I put All Out 2021, full year 2021, this year's Wrestle Kingdom, as well as this year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view as my favorite pay-per-views of the year. Any others that I forgot to mention there for pay-per-views?
Wrestle Kingdom.
I did say Wrestle Kingdom. I said this year.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
sorry.
this year's Wrestle Kingdom I added.
So you said Wrestle Kingdom, All Out,
full year,
Money in the Bank, Full Gear.
Was there any areas you think I missed?
Can't really say.
Slammiversary and Bound for Glory.
Mm.
Honestly, all 4 Impact pay-per-views this year were good. Rebellion had a number of mention from Rebellion.
The most surprising pay-per-view I gave the Crown, this year's Crown Jewel. Except for one match, the card was actually decent.
Okay. We do some little previews of this. Might come out after my article on Wednesday where I have my little end of year awards.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we did. What is your show of the year? The show of the year.
The show of the year.
Yeah,
Oh
the
man,
show of the year.
dude, you know I'm gonna pick All Out
All Out.
2021.
Yeah, that's what I go with too. What about you, Mo? You going with All Out also?
Mm, going with Full Gear.
You like
Oh
Full Gear a
yeah.
little more?
Okay. Yeah, I think Full Gear World delivered on all the matches, while All Out just delivered on like the most of the matches, but a lot of it was definitely from the moments that they
Okay.
gave.
Who
During the
is
night.
your female wrestler of the year?
Hmm.
I have a hard time. I've narrowed it down to three. I'm still, as this recording, trying to pick between the three.
I would say Brit. It's
Mm.
really. I know it's really hard. There was actually a few fairly good ones. Brit. I would say Thunder Rosa. Yeah. WWE wise, just honestly, man, I can't see anybody like Bianca for a bit, but then like she got lost in the shuffle by this point right now.
Well, so for like from January to August, for eight out of 12 months is pretty good.
Yeah. Then
Just forget about the rest of the year.
honestly, but I would have to give best female to Brit. I'm sorry. It's
Mm.
really difficult to say anybody else from the main promotions I
Yeah.
watch.
So
Like I know Gianna
Mm.
Purrazzo is probably one you've been thinking of, for
Yeah, but
example.
don't spoil it for people. Oh, that's another great moment in Impact. The debut of the Drama King, Matthew Reinwald, and then winning the Impact Prom King and Queen.
Oh, the
That was
homecoming
great.
thing, yeah.
Cool. That was fun. They're I love them together.
Best I put best up and comer. I put Dante Martin.
Oh wait, we didn't get the Mo. Like
Sorry, Mo.
Real quick, I narrowed down to Britt Baker, Bianca Belair, and Deonna Purrazzo. And then I narrowed down Deonna Purrazzo and Britt Baker, and Deonna Purrazzo squeaked by because she was simultaneously the Knockouts champion, and she held for 11 months. And then she also won the AAA Reyes to Reyes championship, so she was a double champion. So I had to. I'm going to have to go with Deonna Purrazzo.
There was a lot of double champions going on this year.
And Mo, who's your female wrestler of the year?
I want to say it's a tie between Britt and Bianca.
Mm-hmm. Well, we all kind of like picked some of the same three, like Bianca, Deonna, Britt, and you threw in Thunder Rosa in there. A lot of good women's wrestlers. Okay, so you said up and comer of the
Best
year.
up and comer, I chose Dante Martin.
Hmm.
His brother's been out of action for most of this year, and Dante's really shown what he's capable of, pretty much. Even before Leo Rush became his manager, he's been really like showing what he's got just as a singles competitor with like the likes of Matt Sydal, MJF we saw as well. Just a lot of great stuff from him. Easily, but like if Hook debuted sooner, my answer would be Hook. But I'm going with Dante Martin because it's the entire year I'm thinking of. But yeah,
Hook.
Dante Martin for my best up and comer.
Up and comer. I don't think like young got talent from this year. It's hard in WWE because
yeah,
they're all in NXT, and some of them have been in other promotions. So let me think. Up and comers, man. Kind of late in the year, but I have been impressed by Braun Breaker. I do think he will be NXT champion soon. He's got that Steiner blood in him. He impressed me.
You can't say Steiner.
Whatever.
You gotta say Dogface Gremlin.
Who's the other young guys on the rosters? I'm trying to think.
Mo, did you have any while he's looking up? Best up for like a best up and comer?
I was thinking Fuego del Sol.
You know what?
Oh yeah.
I will give you that. I will give you that. I've watched enough. A Birds made me watch enough Sammy Guevara vlogs to go, I like this guy. He has whatever they need for him. Just really well done guy overall. I can agree with that.
I don't know. Does Jungle Boy count at this point? I feel like he's a little
No.
established.
If we were talking the first year AEW was in business, then I could say
Yeah.
Jungle Boy.
Trying to think. Was there anybody else who impressed Jamo?
I'm trying to just think. If we erased, if we're counting the fact that this person hasn't been in the ring for a while, I could call CM Punk an up and comer.
No,
that would be like a return.
Yeah, if we had to do a best return, we would do CM Punk, but we're not doing a best return. Obviously, best return goes to fucking CM Punk.
This snappy up-and-comer
yeah.
CM Punk is blazing a trail.
I don't know if she counts as an up-and-comer. Tay Conti really impressed me this year.
I could say Tay Conti was a bit more of an up-and-comer.
Layla Hirsch impressed me.
Layla Hirsch definitely.
Ty Conti was in NXT for a bit, and she has
but they didn't really do much with her.
Yeah, but legit Layla Hirsch, I can't. If that's what, I would say that's a good up and comer. I guess then the last one would be best male competitor.
Best male competitor. You guys go first.
Karate Man.
Bryan Danielson.
Karate Man.
Honestly, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson. He's had some of the best matches I've seen this year. He's delivered on every front this year with his promos, with the way.
I just thought of an up and comer.
Oh.
Almost.
No, I'm not. No, fuck, nah.
He debuted at Mania. He has first match at Mania. He really impresses me as a big guy.
I don't see it. Honestly, this year, I don't see it. Maybe next year.
His stuff with AJ Styles was great. He won the tag team titles in his very first match.
To be fair, Braun Strowman started off rough. It took about a year or so, but then when they started doing his squash matches, when they add the Universal title and shit, that's where he really started to make a name for himself. I don't think this year. I think next year when he has the actual legit singles run. We'll come back to this about best up and coming.
I disagree. I think his stuff. I think he has a great personality. AJ Styles brought that. A lot of his working with Styles really helped him. Considering he doesn't have a lot of in-ring experience as a big guy, you actually believed he was dominant, and it was actually scary to fight him, which is what you need in a giant. It was impressive. Anytime he'd win a battle royal or something. So I think he's still rough, but he's someone I think can go places.
Okay. Like I said, I don't see it yet with Omos. Maybe next year we'll talk. We'll come right back here and talk about it. But right now, I'm not seeing it. I don't know if it's because it's like with Strowman, and when they started with Strowman, he was just in a tag team for so long. Didn't really make a name for himself until they decided to break him away from the Wyatt family. Maybe it's the same thing with Omos. Maybe once they break him away from Styles fully, maybe we'll see a change with the guy. Right now, I'm not seeing it. And I'm not agreeing with what fucking Undertaker says about him being the next Andre the Giant right now.
Hey, you respect the Undertaker's opinion.
I will not. Apparently, he still wants guns and knives in the locker room, so.
He's what?
Saying that he's the next Andre the Giant could be like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about when he says that.
He said he could be the
best male competitor, Nick. I said Bryan Danielson, obviously.
Oh, man. I love Bryan Danielson. And I have to go with Kenny Omega. The man was a triple champion for a good portion of the year. He was AEW World Champion, Impact World Champion, and AAA Mega Champion simultaneously. He had some of the best matches of the year. He dominated in 3 different companies. to me is Kenny Omega this year.
Okay. Mo, who's your best male competitor besides Karate Man?
Well, I have to choose someone else. Fine.
And besides James Ellsworth.
Look, you guys are just not being fair about this. I'd actually have to agree with Nick's choice of Kenny Omega because it's like this whole. It was one thing when, like, with the whole domination thing, they AEW and all these other companies made use of what was going on. So it's like you have this one guy just going in, taking other people's belts, and it's like you want to see the people that represent those different brands put on their best effort to try and win it back. So it's like there's already an established outsider who's just like, I want this because I want it. I don't really care too much about the history of you guys or everything that you're going through. I want that gold. So, I'm gonna take it. And then it's like every time he would have a match, you're just like, sometimes it's like legitimately, okay, he won. Other times it's more, there's some kind of screwy finish or something like that that Kenny would take advantage of. But for the most part, it was just bringing out the best in his opponents.
So none of
And
us
that
said
was the whole year.
Yeah. So none of us said Roman Reigns, so we're all gonna be super kicked by the Usos any minute now.
Roman Reigns is up there. He had a good year, but to me, the thing that established Omega was the fact he dominated 3 different companies while Roman Reigns dominated one brand and one company.
Good point. So that is going to do it, folks, for our best of 2021 video. We thank you for if you've been keeping up with all of our reaction videos this year. I know it's been a bit rough around the edges here and there, but we've managed to smooth our way through, as it were, get through all of our stuff. We went through a lot of matches tonight. There was a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of great ways to watch this programming, whether it's through streaming, whether it's through YouTube, especially this is a Ryan match. It's like there's a lot of great ways to watch wrestling nowadays. There's a lot there's a lot of great matches we didn't even mention from this year that we missed because of our own reasons or because of personal. There's a lot of great stuff out there, folks. Not only check out the stuff we've mentioned, but check out the stuff you've probably heard around the internet that's probably good. So I mean, other than that, folks, if you're new to the channel, you hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share us around, share it around. And I feel like it's just a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to talking about some good old-fashioned pro wrestling. Hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon as well. Let us know what you guys thought of our picks for the best of wrestling's had to offer in 2021. What were your some favorite matches? What were your favorite moments? What did you find to be some of the best time you've had this year? Whether it's through AEW, WWE, New Japan, Impact. Let us know down in the comments below. Put down what you thought of our reaction as well down below. But most importantly, we thank you for watching. Of course, where can they find you guys?
Yes, Mel, where on the interwebs can they find you?
So, I have like Instagram and stuff. It's Afro which is also the name that I use when I put out some beats and stuff that I like to produce and just put out in the world. So, Instagram is Afro Streaming services, you look up Afro I have some stuff out there. Give it a listen. Check it out. I like to say I'm a hobbyist when it comes to this stuff. I put out a whole recent album called Round Two that is available on streaming services, and yeah, that's all I have to say for myself. What about you? What's going on with you? What are you doing?
Oh, I just do a little monthly blog called Spandex and Suplexes, a wrestling review, every last Wednesday of the month now on FloridaGeekScene.com. Every month I talk about the best of what's happening in that month of pro wrestling. And the next issue, which as of this recording, we're now recording on the 26th. It should be out on the 29th. It'll also be my year-end review where I'm going to announce I already announced pretty much what I'm on this one, but I don't know when this is coming out. It might be before or after. Where I'm going to have my Spanning Suplexes year-end awards. So you can look forward to that. And also be sure to check out a little spin-off series, mini-series I will have called Spanning Suplexes, the interview series. I have a couple of interviews on Florida Geek Scene's YouTube channel, where I've interviewed a couple figures from the pro wrestling industry, including Alex Chamberlain and the most legendary jobber of all time, Randy Hogan.
Cool. And of course, guys, on the next episode of SRB TV at 123 Wrestling here on the channel, I will not be here. I've already told these guys they're good. I will be pretty much unavailable New Year's weekend. So what you will be getting is my brother will be for the first time. My brother will be fully filling in just for me, and that will be for the most stupid. Why couldn't you call it New Year's Revolution? But instead, you guys are gonna take a look at WWE Day 1, 2022.
It makes no sense to me. They just call it New Year's Revolution.
But like I said, I will not be here, folks. My brother will be replacing me for that reactions reviews. So look forward to that. I'm sure he probably has definitely more difference of opinion overall compared to me. But until next time, folks, I am Kristen.
I'm Nick Slade.
And one day we will understand why it's called Day 1. But anyway, I'm Mo Brothers. Yeah.
And this has been a very best of Phil episode of 123 Wrestling. We hope you guys have a happy new year. And here's hoping to a very solid year of pro wrestling in the year 2022. So we'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
If you want to check out any of our previous reactions,
as well as one of our other SRB shows,
check out one of the playlists down below.
And if you want to check us out in the social universe,
you can find us on Twitter and Stardust
at Super React Bros,
as well as on Facebook
at Super Reaction Bros.